All right, I will record. Okay, so I'm going to talk about funnels today, and I know this is a topic that Blaine is really familiar with and follows, and it's something that I've been talking with more and more with coaches just to make it more simple, because I think we hear it and we hear all the things that we need to do, but we don't really write it down or have a system. So if you haven't ever written down a funnel, I would encourage you to draw a picture of a funnel. So as we talk through a couple different scenarios, that you can write them and have them in front of you, and it's something that you can, keep on a whiteboard in your office or keep at the front of your binder and just kind of help yourself through that. I also wanted to, just before we dove into that, I've been on a few calls or caught a few live videos, or just the calls the last couple weeks that I've been listening to, and coaches that I've been talking to one-on-one, and I hear a lot of the same people. People are frustrated, people are struggling, people feel like, how long is this going to take, or, have this anxiety or anxious feeling about that. And even had someone today, say, is that normal? And I'm like, absolutely, that's normal. That's life. Like, things are going to happen. It's not always going to be perfect. People move, and people have babies, and people get new jobs, and people lose their jobs, and people, and it might not just be you going through those things, but it's other people. Like, our job is working with other people, and it might just be that the people that we're talking to are going through those things. They're not ready for a health and fitness journey, or they can't commit, or they can't wrap their mind around starting their own business, or they don't have the belief system in their heads, because most of the world does not do personal development. Most of the world either thinks it's corny, doesn't know what it is, like they're not putting positive things in their ear all the times. And a lot of times when I see people more frustrated or with that anxious feeling, the first thing I say is, what are you listening to, or what are you reading? And they aren't doing that. So that's an important step for you and for coaches underneath you that feel that frustration. Like, are they doing PD? Because if they're not pushing play and drinking their shake and then doing PD, we're really going to have no chance of getting of them sending invites at all. And same with yourself. If you're not doing those first two steps, it's very hard to have the belief system and the confidence to get an invite out there and to overcome objections and move to the next step. So, but I do want you guys to realize, like, this is a business. So when you go to, say you decided you wanted to open a cupcake shop or a restaurant, or some kind of brick and mortar, it would cost you thousands and thousands of dollars, if not $100,000, to open an establishment like that. And you would work around the clock, 24/7, all the time, to keep that business running. You would be the one that, and I speak from experience as far as parents that owned restaurants growing up, they were married to that place, so much so that they got unmarried to each other, but they were still married to the business. Like, they still worked the business. So it's something that takes so much time and so much money, and people don't open a restaurant and after a week or after a month say, boo-hoo, no one's coming, no one wants what I'm selling, and close the doors. Some do. Most businesses close quickly. But what they do is they advertise. They tell all their flippin' friends. They're not embarrassed that they opened a restaurant. They're not embarrassed that they sell hamburgers. They're excited as flip. Are you as excited as flip about your business? Because if not, get excited. This is exciting stuff. Like, we have the opportunity to help people. So it's not about keeping it to ourselves. Any other business in the world, you would go out there and scream it from the rooftops, come to my store, come eat my hamburgers, come to my ice cream shop, whatever it is, you would be sharing it. So when you go to send an invite, that's what it is. It's just sharing it, okay? Don't overthink it. So we're going to talk about funnels. I just wanted to get that off first. So I got my funnel. So draw your funnel if you haven't drawn a funnel on a piece of paper. And we're going to talk about at the top of the funnel what we're looking to do. So the whole idea of a funnel is attracting, connecting, and converting them into, I say my goal is to converting them into a lifer, someone that's going to continuously buy, become a coach, become a big fan of mine, become a friend of mine, whatever it is. Like, I want them to be a lifer. And I get that term from Shailene, and I'm a lifer of Shailene's. Like, if she sends an email, I'm going to open it. I'm going to read it. If there's a live video I can catch of hers, I'm probably going to watch it. Like, she's got me. And yet I've never bought her biggest marketing impact academy, which is $2,000-$3,000. I've never bought it. I've bought many of her other things though. Her $99 Instagram training I've bought. I've signed up for, you know, the beta test or this or that. Like, I've bought $10 things. I've bought her push journals. I've bought her books. I've bought hundreds of dollars worth of her push books and given them out as gifts. Like, she's gotten me with other things, and that's part of her funnel. But a lot of what she puts out there is what would be called a freemium, or in our case, you can create a freemium, which we can talk about in detail one-on-one at any time, or I can share more about that on another call, or a free group. So this is our free group. So, you know, we've talked about free groups before, and how I think Blaine was the one who said, you know, sometimes if you're just doing like, you know, a squat challenge or an ab challenge, you're not going to get any, or even a crock pot challenge. Like, someone talked about this in a group recently, and she's like, oh, I did this crock pot challenge and we had like 200 people in there, and it was great, and it was active and it was interactive and everyone loved it, but no one really wanted to move on. You know, why do you think so? And Summer had a good point. She said, well, because you didn't get anyone out of their comfort zone at any level. Like, you did not push anyone out of their comfort zone to do something different that they normally wouldn't do. She probably attracted a lot of people that already used their crock pot or something like that. Now, if you were to do, now I would think like if you were to do like, let's go vegan for a week, that would push people a little more out of their comfort zone, make them a little uncomfortable. And it would be more of a struggle. Like, it's not really a struggle to put your stuff in the crock pot in the morning and push, you know, heat up. Now, I do think that there's a value for all those things, but you're not going to get as much people invested in moving on for what you have to offer. So, but one thing I want you guys to think about and offer your feedback, if we have time at the end of the call, or message me or post in Team Ignite where we can talk about it, is a free group. Yes, we have small groups that we do monthly, or other people like have their own, so there's a little variety to jump in on. But the idea of going back to, for you guys that remember the Eat Clean, Train Mean group, so there's a lot of people going back to a large ongoing free group where then they have a different theme every month of like something that they do for like a week out of it, but it's still a place to post nightly. And I wouldn't expect you to open your own if you don't want to, although you could, but we could have a place where you're kind of just posting like a challenge group. It's just ongoing free challenges. No, Blaine doesn't like that idea. So it's something that people are doing. I have not pulled the trigger on anything like that, but that's why I bring it up as far as conversation. So, so your initial top of the funnel though is free group. So you want to attract people through your social media, and obviously you can send an invite. Like, a girl popped up that I had talked to for a long time and hasn't pulled the trigger on a challenge group, and I just wrote her and I said, hey, I was thinking about you. I have a free my next group I'll tell you about. I have a free group starting next Monday, and I'm trying out some really new things with my challengers, and it's going really well. Would you like to join us? So we do have, or I have, and you're invited to, a free group starting next Monday, and it is based on 7 steps that I'm leading challengers through. And so it's going to be 2 weeks, which is longer than I normally do for a free group, but I'm really liking it in the new challenge group, and I really want to keep teaching it so I can get better at it, and I want to expose any of my coaches to it so that they can use it in their groups if they want. So it's actually 8 steps, but I'm making the free group 7 steps because the 8th step is used in the challenge groups as far as like a daily self-reflection. But the first week of the free group, we're going to go through each of the steps each day 7, another reason I changed it to 7 because there's 7 days a week. And then the second week we are going to practice them. We're going to practice, meditation, intention, gratitude, drinking our water, eating clean, incorporating some form of fitness, and now the last one is stretching. And then I'll start to incorporate the questions in there as well. But so it'll be a 7-step group, and I posted that in Team Ignite. But if you guys want to join me, you're welcome to. So I'm going to get people into this free group. And then the next step is so you've attracted, you've connected with them, you've gotten them in this free group. Now we have to convert them into a lifer, right? So we want to get them after that into some kind of Shakeology group. After my 2-week group, I want to get them into whether it's 5, 7, 10-day, whatever length that we want to do. And that can change. I don't want you guys to be so set on like, I have to do a 5-day or I have to do a 7-day or I have to do a 10-day, because sometimes just based on the timing, it's good ideas to try different things. And it's not always the same when you're posting on Facebook or inviting, like I'm doing this 5, like you can switch it up so it's different. I thought a good idea, our last 3-day refresh group went really well, I thought. And so I thought we could do another one of those after Halloween and or after Thanksgiving. I'd be up for doing both, because some people might want to do one or the other. But I thought that would be also a good idea to talk about making that a 10-day group that would start, let's say after Halloween. So November 1st, 10-day group, like Crush the Candy or whatever. And you actually start with a 3-day refresh. And then after the 3-day refresh is over, keep on going with a week of Shakeology. So you could, they could buy that, they could buy the refresh, and then you'd have to send them the packet separately. But once they do all that, they might actually want to upgrade and just get the challenge pack. They might want to just do it for 30 days. And then if you have people that come to you and they're like, I just want to do the 3-day refresh, I don't want to keep going, then say, okay, sounds good. And after the 3-day refresh is over in the 10-day group, you can leave them in there and they can see everyone keep going. Or if you want to take them out, like those are other things, like different coaches are different, whether they want to keep them in or keep them out. I personally don't mind them sticking around and seeing the results other people are getting. But in a group like that, we could say like, hey, if you're not going to be continuing on, we're going to get you out of the group and your coach will contact you about other options, And that's my thought process as far as like, then do you have a free group that we can put them in, like an ongoing, people are eating clean, people are doing their workout. I'm introducing different products, showing Energize, showing different things like throughout your posts that you're getting people curious about. All right, so from the 5 to 10-day group, then you have people that you're like, okay, well, you just finished, 7 days of shakes. They're feeling good. Like, do you want to keep going? Why don't you get in my 30-day group? And that's when you try to get them into a 30-day group. You try to get them to have a 30-day bag of Shakeology. You remind them that it's a money-back guarantee. Like, listen, you already loved it for 7 days. You're already feeling great. Why wouldn't you want to continue? Let's keep going. Or how about, like, you rocked the 7 days of nutrition. Like, how about adding in some exercise? Like, have you thought about checking out our all access pass where you can get all these, or start finding their needs? Like, what kind of exercise would they like to do? And again, you can just sell the all access pass by itself. Then you want to get them into another 30-day group or longer group. So I'm not going to lie, I go back and forth on, I've been doing 30-day groups. Do I want to do 60-day groups? Do I want to go back to 90-day groups? 90 gets so long, but for a lifer, you need to get someone on a program like for 90 days. Like, they need to do, if it's a month-long program or a 21-day program, they need to do it for 3 months. They need to keep on going. They're going to see some positive changes in month 1, but they're not going to see real results unless they keep going. Like, I mean, I look back at my first 90-day pictures, and month 1, yeah, like, I lost 8 pounds. That's great. But when you have 50 to lose, like, you got to keep going. You can't stop. You can't be like, oh, that was fun. Like, I'm going to go back to doing what I was doing. You got to go 8 more pounds, 8 more pounds, 8 more pounds. And when you get people like everyone that's on this call to commit to a program and see results for after 90 days. And that was my big point, was like, they have to get results. They have to get to that point where they're like, I see the value. You're then going to have a potential person that wants to coach, and you're going to have a potential lifer. If they don't want to coach, that's okay, guys. Just have them be a customer and keep making your commission. Not everyone wants to coach. You can still introduce it as many times as you want to and try to get them into the ongoing coach sneak peek, which is, every Monday right now, which they've had some amazing speakers on. Last week was awesome. Hey, Jennifer. Last week was awesome with all the guys. So get into that group. So, okay, excuse me. Okay, so hold on, let me mute you. Or mute. Yeah. Mute. There you go. Okay. Okay, so that's like your customer funnel. So I want to go, and I know I always get cut off on time in here, but I want to go over more of a coaching funnel now too with you guys. And this is, for a lot of you, it's going to be for yourself, and for others, it's something you can teach to your new coaches starting off, or it's how you're going to get people into coaching. So again, we'll draw a big funnel, and at the top of coaching, it's just getting wins. Like, so we were talking about this earlier in a group, and someone was like, yeah, so getting wins, like selling your first challenge pack. And Summer was like, no. Like that's like a huge win. Like, what would be like a really little win as a coach? It doesn't have to be a challenge pack, because when you set that expectation for yourself and for others, like, okay, your first win is selling a challenge pack, and they don't sell a challenge pack their first month. What do they want to do? Quit. They feel defeated. They feel they don't have the belief that they can do it in themselves, and that's not true. So their first wins is with themselves, like going back to look at the results you've gotten. Like, have they been doing this 90 days? Do they have before and after pictures? Have they ever done a 3-day refresh? Like, how do they feel before and after Shakeology? And that's a good activity as far as, I'm trying to find, I have so many sheets. This is one that I keep in front of me, like before a challenge group, after a challenge group, before coaching, after coaching. And I keep this in front of me because it spurs ideas for posts on social media. It reminds me of why I'm here. It reminds me why I don't quit, because this before side is shitty. Like, everything over here is sad. Like, sad. And then I look over here where I am now, or where I am after I finish a challenge, and how I feel. And it's like, well, why not do that again, Kimberly? Like, you felt amazing. So those are good things to do. Those are first wins. You guys, make those lists, put them in front of you. Look at where you were and where you are now. And it's okay if you're not where you want to be. A good point that's come up recently is, and I put a post about it today on Facebook about coaching, is that we are all broken. It's okay. Like, there's none of us walking around perfect. And if you're following someone that looks perfect on social media, it's not real. It's their highlight reel. It's all the good stuff. Like, I have to stop watching people like that. I have to stop. You have to too. Like, it's comparison is the thief of joy. But when I see these coaches that are this big and eat donuts, it seems like every other day, like, we cannot be friends, because I cannot do that. Like, I cannot follow you anymore, because that's not real life, and that's not my life, and that's not the people that I'm probably attracting. Like, they're like, Kimberly, I can't lose weight and eat donuts. Can you help me? No, you have to put the donuts down. So I want to help coaches and yourself get wins. So start with the, I just brought it up to the top in Team Ignite as far as the Coach Essentials Google Drive. Guys, it is the coaching Bible. It is gold. It is amazing what Summer has put together for us. It has everything you need for yourself, for others. everything you need. So small wins means going through that, learning something, downloading something, printing something. Like those are small wins as a coach. The next one would be a first sale or sending even the first invites before a first sale. Just getting your first 30 invites out there. Summer said that she, I wrote it down because she said today, I don't know, I think she said 200. She used to do her invites when she started on index cards. So each person was an index card, like their name, and then she could write notes about them, and she would use index cards. So she eventually went to different kind of lists, and now we have all these kind of digital techie lists. But I loved the idea that she had this stack of note cards for her to flip through and go through and put them in different piles based on what they said or what they needed. And she said she went through 200 note cards, making them, inviting them, building the relationship before she got one yes. And meanwhile, you guys or coaches underneath you get, 30 no's, and you're like, oh, this is not for me. No one I know wants to do it. Really? If you had opened that cupcake shop, would you have just invited 30 friends? And if they didn't all show up on day one, would you lock the doors and walk away? Like, nah, not going to sell cupcakes anymore. First of all, to run a business, you have to talk to more people than your friends and family. You have to meet new people. If we couldn't run a restaurant just having friends and family come eat over, might as well just eat at home. Like, we want to make money off of other customers, not just friends and family, right? So first sale, first invites, next big coaching funnel, working your way to something like SC5 or PV 500. Like I said in past calls, it's not all about Success Club, guys. It's a good tracking tool. It's a good way. Now you get 2 points for like everything. So it's really SC6 if you help 3 people. But it's a good tracking tool to get you to that 500 PV number. But I'm recognizing people for volume and SC, because if you sell, 5 all access passes, you're doing great. You're doing great. You just made $250. If you sell 3 3-day refreshes and you just make $60, $75, you're doing great. That's all volume, and it's all commission, and it's all money in your pocket, and it's all helping someone. Who cares if it has an SC point next to it or not? So moving down to like a goal of SC5 or 500 PV is for your volume. Next, going emerald, starting to build your team, inviting people to your team. I see a lot of new coaches struggle and be like, well, I don't have it figured out, and I'm just starting, and I don't really know everything, so how can I help someone underneath my team? Well, you're not going to get a team of 200 until you start with a team of 2. You're not. Like, you have to learn how to help those people. And there's no rule against saying, hey, I just started, or I haven't been coaching long, or I have just really started building my team and mentoring others, so we're really doing this together. But we have a team above us of people who have been doing it longer and get it and understand it, and I'm going to plug you in with them. I'm going to add you to Team Ignite. I'm going to add you to Team Courage. This is when our team calls are. Here's all the coach essentials. We have all the tools. It's just up to what you're going to do with it, right? And then after that, going emerald, let's say, and they're doing all these steps to get there, is them helping their coach do that then. And if you feel uncomfortable, that's when you reach up to your upline, or you reach up to me and you say, help me help her go emerald, because we want to repeat this funnel. We want to repeat this process. How are we going to get her to emerald? Well, we can't just say, all right, you want to do a going emerald group? We just went through this whole funnel. So now with this next coach, small wins. We have to help them get small wins. We have to help them send their first invites, go over the objections, go over the responses, help them get their first sale. I don't care if their first sale is a tub of Energize. It's a big freaking thing, and we need to celebrate it in the team. If we need, that's recognition. That's a vital behavior. We need to recognize every little win like that, because it all matters. But then to help them, grow their volume, grow their Success Club, and then say, let's go emerald, and then repeat the process over and over and over. So much like the funnel for sales and for our groups, and how we're going to get someone from just seeing us on Facebook for a free group down to a lifer. We're going to do the same thing with yourself as a coach or bringing on new coaches. And you're going to stop rushing the process and stop thinking it has to happen overnight, and stop thinking that everyone that you bring on is going to stay forever. Most people quit, guys. Most people quit. Be freaking different. Don't quit. Stay here. That is your slight edge. If you've not read the books, The Slight Edge, it's a great book, and it's very similar to Compound Effect, but I think it relates even better to like health and wellness. Talks a lot about like losing weight. But and if you don't know, the guy who created Nerium is the guy who wrote it. So he's pretty successful in network marketing, obviously. But your slight edge is just not quitting, because so many freaking people quit. And when you go on to you can Google anything and find good and bad. Obviously, anything. A car, a refrigerator, a restaurant, good and bad reviews. They're never all good. A hotel, you piss off one person, like they're going to write a bad review. And more people write a review when they're angry or upset or want to voice their opinion or make an excuse of why Beachbody didn't work. This didn't work. This didn't work. No, you just didn't work it. Shakeology works. The containers work. The system, the programs work. I've seen millions and millions of stories over the last 4 years of it working for people because it works. You just have to follow it. You guys know when there's someone in your group or you do it yourself and it's like, oh, it's not working. I'm not losing any weight. Well, you can't eat pizza every Friday night. You can't eat ice cream every Saturday. You can't have a party or vacation every freaking week. Like, you can't. That's not going to work. You're right. Same with coaching. It works. These funnels work. The systems work. But it takes time. It is a business. And I don't know what the freaking rush we're all in for. Where do we got to be? Where are we going? I know we have goals. I totally get it. I have fallen short of my goals for many, many years. But I've come to this peace with it because I'm doing what I'm capable of. I'm doing what my schedule allows for. I'm doing what puts my priorities in order as far as my family, my faith, my own health and fitness, and then my business. So business is not at the top of my list. And when you see some of these people on rising to the top, and I made $100,000 in a year, and I'm, number 3 in the company, and blah, 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 I suspect that their priorities are different than mine. Like they're a little different than mine, and that's okay. That's great for them. But that's not where I'm at. So it was very funny. I had to jump on my my desktop today, which is downstairs in my house. My old school coaches remember me doing calls there in front of my laundry-filled couch for years. But I had to jump on there and try to find a spreadsheet. And while I was on there, then I started, got sidetracked and started deleting all these, pictures on my screen and trying to clear it out. And I came across a picture of Summer's first income that she shared on a call years ago, and it always stuck out to me because there's a shit ton of zeros, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, months and months and months and months of zero. And then, oh, look, she made $30, whoop-de-doo. And then a couple more zeros. And then, oh, she made $60. Okay. And then $100. And then you can't really, that's all you can see is like her first year, basically, or year and a half. She didn't really do anything. And she didn't even start from like when she started. She couldn't fit all the zeros on the screen, I remember. It took her a long time, and a lot of that was her belief system that she could do it. And I feel like that's where a lot of you guys are struggling too. It's with your belief system. Can you do this? Should you do this? Well, first of all, you haven't given it enough time to know. You can't quit and do it. So why not keep going? Why not keep trying new things? Why not keep trying new free groups and 5-day groups and start your own funnel and say, you know what? I'm going to get in this group with Kimberly next Monday. I'm going to learn these 7/8 steps to teach my challengers. And I'm going to invite 20 people and hope that, you know, it's free group, so I'm going to hope that I get 10 in there, okay? I already made my list right before we got on this call of 10, my 10, and I'm like, I'm getting 10 people in there. Like, I'm filling it with 10 people, and I will dig in with those people for 2 weeks, which is longer than normal, and it's going to be a value-packed group, and I challenge you to start there, because when that group is done, we are going to get them to try Shakeology for 5, 7, 10, or maybe 30 days. And when that group is done, we are going to, if they haven't started a workout plan, we're going to get them on a workout plan. And when that workout's done, we're going to try to get them to do it another month, or we're going to get them on a new workout plan. We are going to stick with them through this funnel. But you guys have to get, the funnel is really big on top. Lots of people will do the free group. Less people will do the 5 to 10 day group. Less people will do the 30-day group. Less people will stick with you for 90 days, and even less people will sign on as a coach. So if we have to get 100 people in this free group to get one person coaching, that's what we have to do. And what's the great thing about this is you're helping all these people along the way with where they're at. That's what we're here for. So many of you guys get on the phone with me, and when we talk about your why, you say, I want to help people. Well, congratulations. You can invite them to a free group and we can help them. Like, we can do that. Others of you want to make some money. We can do that, but we have to start somewhere. We have to start with some kind of invitation, some kind of sharing on our wall. It doesn't have to go right into coaching. And you guys, you follow someone like me, or you follow some of these other coaches, and you follow top coaches, and you follow whoever you follow, or you don't follow anyone, and you should probably follow someone. But you follow these people, and they're in different spots than your business. Like, there's things that Summer can say and do I can't do because she's been coaching for 8 freaking years. There's things that I can say and do that you can't because I've been coaching for 4 years. People have seen me for 4 years. And when I say that out loud, that I've been coaching for 4 years, I'm like, holy crap, where did 4 years go? You know, it's insane to me. But people have been following me and watching me for a different length of time. And a lot of times people are watching you or your new coaches. Guys, they're waiting for them to fail. They're waiting for them to quit. Prove them wrong. Don't quit. Be here in a year. Be here in 2 years. Be here in 4 years. Because if not, your people are going to come to me. They're going to come to Blaine. They're going to come to Colleen. They're going to come to someone. I have people constantly. I have a girl that jumped in my group that started today. She's been a customer of mine pretty much for 4 years. Stacy Hicks is a new coach, or that's not her name anymore. Don't let her tell her I said that. Stacy Davis. That shows you how long it's been. She was Hicks when she started with me 4 years ago. Now she's Stacy Davis. She was one of my very first coaches. She was even an Emerald coach at one point, and then she just felt overwhelmed. She felt anxious. She stepped back from the business. But she says it's always been on her mind. It's always been on her heart. And more, it's been stronger and stronger. And finally she's like, let's just do this. Like, let's go for it. Like, I got to start somewhere, right? Why keep putting it off time after time? What I want to stress to you guys, though, is it just takes time. I hear a lot of, I'm anxious and I'm afraid and I'm this and that. What are you filling with your in your ears? Like, what are you guys listening to? If you're not listening to positive, uplifting people and people that have done it, and if you're not listening to, if you're not jumping on this call, I'm glad you're here. I'm happy to see so many faces. And if you're not jumping on the Thursday night calls with Team Courage, they've been fabulous. They've been a variety of different speakers. They've been so, so good. I strongly recommend you getting on those. The National Wake Up Calls never disappoint me. You can get them on podcasts. You can, when you get to the meat of a National Wake Up Call, if you fast forward through the announcements, it's like 20 minutes. 25 minutes tops. I mean, and it's great information. Those are the things I'm going to ask you if you're frustrated. And then I see people that are like, oh, I don't need to talk this week, or I don't want to, it's okay. And I know that you're not doing what you need to be doing. I know that you're stuck. I know that you're frustrated. So I want you to ask yourself, what do I need to listen to? What do I need to do? So Team Page, or this call, webinars on Team Courage, National Wake Up Call, and then additional PD. Be duplicatable in your systems. Okay. And all of this is, to be duplicatable in our systems, not to duplicate us, but a good analogy is like a fast food restaurant or any kind of franchise, like a Starbucks or whatever. They're duplicatable. Like they go in and they have a system of like, this is how we take orders. This is how we make our drinks. This is how we, write their names. I don't know, whatever. Like they have all their duplicatable systems. So the person doesn't have to be duplicatable as far as like the individual. All different types of people work at Starbucks. All types of different people work at Taco Bell. But the system they follow is the same. So we have a system, a funnel that if you follow works. And we have a system that if you follow for coaching works, but we can't rush it. We have to go back, I think really specific, well, for both of them, but we can't rush it. We have to do the small wins and the first invites and any kind of sale, that sort of thing. And we have to do the free group and get back to the 5 to 10 day groups. And really when you start to teach it that way, it's even easier to show someone the value of signing up a spouse or a boyfriend or a mother to get packets, even if they're not going to drink it, because, hey, remember, see all these 5-10 day groups you do? Like you're just going to do that too. You're going to sell your 10 packets. So you're going to want to have extra packets on hand. So start thinking of, signing up maybe your spouse or, depending on their situation. So, and then the last thing I'll say is, and I wrote this, I think, on your post today, Colleen, because it went kind of right with what you said on social media, but I heard, and I don't remember exactly what yours said, but it was along these lines. But I heard this quote today, and it was match your work ethic with your goals. And it really stuck out to me because sometimes I have these really big goals, but does my work ethic match it? Like, am I doing the steps to do it? Like, so a lot of times in Team Ignite, I'll ask like for financial goals and things like that. And I've seen people say, hey, I want to make $500 a month, but then they say they want to make SC5. They don't match up. Like you can't make $500 a month hitting SC5. Now, if you had a team of people underneath you hitting SC5 and you're hitting SC5, then yes, you can. And if you've been doing this long enough, longer than months, and you have residual people ordering again, yes, you can. But that takes time. So does your work ethic match your goals? Are you doing the things that you need to do to hit your goals? If you tell me your goal is to leave your job and that you tell me you spend 10 minutes a day on Beachbody or you haven't really been working your business, they don't line up. Like we have to reevaluate those things and we have to be able to call out as leaders to people underneath us those things, not in a mean way, but we have to be ready to say like, hey, you told me you wanted this, but you're only doing this. So, and that's different goals, different strokes for different folks. Like I'm not here to tell you what your goals are. That's up to you, but I'm also not here to hold you back from your potential. So I don't want to hear from people like goals that I think don't lessen your goals just because you think you can't hit them, because then you're just holding yourself back. It's okay to dream. It's okay to, I've had the same goal for like 3 years. I just keep writing it down. Like it's got to happen eventually, right? But sometimes I have to maybe I got to bump up my work ethic a little as well. So, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate you jumping on, and I will post the recording if you guys want to tag anyone in it and offer any feedback or any ideas or any comments on anything I said. Just please do it in Team Ignite because I'd love to hear them. So have a great night. I'm going to jump off before it actually cuts me off. All right. See you later.